welcome back to the show, guys. Today we have a very special guest. This man has dedicated his entire life to Jiu-Jitsu. He's also a rapper, actually.
And M.M.A. as well. Yeah.
And Jiu-Jitsu, M.M.A. He's a rapper.
Father.
He's literally taught me everything I know about Jiu-Jitsu, like pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thank
Legacy.
you, bro. Thank you. What up, everybody? It's a pleasure to be here, bro. You know, I support you. You know, I want to see you. I want to see you thrive. I want to see you be successful. And anything I can do to help to be a part of that, I'm gonna do it for you, bro. Because you my man. You the homie.
I appreciate Legacy, dude.
Yes, sir.
You already know,
Yes,
dude.
sir.
We all fam, dude.
Yeah, I've been watching your stuff, man. You're getting better and better. That's what it is, man. I feel like, you know, for me too, it's kind of like the same thing. You know, I've been starting mine, and I've been having all kinds of little hiccups. But
You got some motion on yours, though, dude.
Yeah,
you got some motion, dude.
It's going well. It's going well. Thank God. You know, it's fun. You know, like I didn't. You know, to tell you the truth, Mo, I was supposed to be doing this a long time ago.
Yeah,
I was supposed to, like, I have a couple people around me back in the day, probably like, I want to say at least 10 years ago, that were telling me you should be putting your stuff on YouTube. You should be doing tutorials. You know, you get out there more. And I kind of was like, I kind of overlooked it, you know. And the same thing, like, I overlooked it with the rap too. I got a lot of albums, but I never like cared about doing music videos and stuff.
Yeah, or like small mixtapes or anything. Yeah.
So I mean, I should have been doing this already for a while and doing, you know, more videography stuff.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like music videos, like being out there more. I could have been doing this 10 years ago, but I didn't listen.
Yeah,
I didn't listen.
I feel like we all gravitate towards the art for like a little niche, you know. Like for me, dude, it's just like I like editing shit, and I just started a podcast because my boy bailed out on me, and we had a podcast. But prior to that, I enjoyed the editing. I enjoyed making beats. I don't like being in front of shit, you know. Yeah. But then like slowly, I just started to do it, you know, and I started like getting better at it, dude. But I forgot where I was going with that.
Well, no, you're learning. You're learning, and it's fun. It's but like you get to learn a lot about people on it's informational. Yeah, and that's what I like about it. Like you might not know, there might be a fan of somebody, and you might want to know more about them, and that's your opportunity to kind of learn. And for me, so far like I've been really blessed to have a lot of cool people on the podcast, as you have as well. And I feel like for me, I've been learning a lot of history as well of things that I had missed, you know, and because we're doing a little bit different type of genre. But yeah, man, I'm enjoying the process, and it's fun, bro. Like I've been making music since I was like very, very young. So for me, this is like almost like helpful to add to the music and add to the jiu-jitsu. And yeah, like, bro, like I should have done it a long time ago, but when I did it, when I finally like was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just play around with it, and I put a couple techniques on YouTube, and
dude, the shorts are popping, bro. I'm watching your little techniques. I'm like, it's cool because you get it all done in like a minute, dude. Yeah, like a minute to like 5 minutes, and I'm like, all right, I think I'm not gonna be able to do it, but I get the idea behind it, you know.
Yeah, you know, I did that. I started with that. I actually started with like just put in like a minute clip, and then I was talking a little bit, and I was like, man, you know,
just get to the point.
Yeah, but I was like, you know what, it'd be even better because what I thought, like, what would I want to see? Yeah, and what I want to see is the move, and I was like, what would be dope with that? Would be like some music playing in the background, some dope music, the move, and then let me see it. Because I'm a big learner, a visual learner. So like if I see something a couple times, I can learn. So I put that in my mindset, and I was like, you know what? Let me try this. And I started putting a couple like techniques of me doing the movement, because I'm not too bad at, you know, jiu-jitsu. I might be getting old, right? But I still look pretty damn good on some of the moves when I do them. So I was like, you know, let me put music. And then all of a sudden I was like, man, this shit's, you know, people are watching. And then every time I would put a move, my subscribers started going up. So I was like, man, this is fun. Yeah. And why not? Like, what am I? I'm gonna take all these moves to the grave with me. You know what I mean? Like, well, what am I going to hold him back for?
Well, how many people do you think have learned like a move just based off of, your videos,
I bet you there's a lot of people
they don't
out
even
there.
know your name, bro.
I bet you there's a lot of people out there right now, like learning from my moves, but they're not going to say nothing, but it's okay.
They might not even know who you are. You could have just been a random video. They click when they're like, how do you do it? Like an omoplata, or like,
that's what I was telling one of my students, Moose, right? He's a like a fitness weightlifting big dude, strong, young kid. I'm like, get out there and do the YouTube too. There's a lot of people doing
that's the future, bro.
That same thing, bro. Yeah. I lift 6 days a week, bro. I'm in the gym every day lifting weights almost. So I see people like on their phone on YouTube looking up somebody that's doing a program and they following the program. So I'm telling him, like, peep game, you could be doing, look at this guy. He's got 1 million followers. Not only is he training people, but he's training people and he's flying to this country. So there's, there's a lane there, everything's changed. So there's
a new market,
Yeah, man. So
like the market.
Yeah, for me, like I know there's people out there, learning from my moves, and people they might not even say it, but the way I looked at it is like I could touch more people this way.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like I could help more people this way. I could reach more people, and then on top of the moves, I got other stuff that I do too. So it's like, yeah, man, it just started working out for me. I'm blessed. Thank God. It's helping me get out there more.
Yeah. How's it like navigating the algorithm, bro? Do you feel like you got the algorithm?
I'll tell people because there's a lot of information out there already. Yeah. And like, I'll tell people this, look, you can Google when the best time to post is. Yeah. It's not very difficult. The shorts are like, I got my lane because of martial arts, right? Mm-hmm. Martial arts. And then, then I got the other stuff that I'm doing as well, the podcast, and then eventually, like, hopefully we'll get to talk about my music as well.
We'll get in there.
Yeah. But, like the lane, whatever lane you got to go for it. Yeah. You got to go for it. That's what I was telling you earlier. Like, post the shorts. Like, they might be annoying, whatever, but each time I've done that, I've gained subscribers. And if you Google, like, on YouTube, like on Google, like, hey, what's the best time to post a YouTube short on Monday? It'll tell you the times. It's not like it's a mystery. It's just like, do you want to put the time and effort in to
use the tools available?
To use the tools, exactly. Some people don't want to. Yeah. So, like, this goes back to when I was making music when I was younger. Some people would just want everybody to do everything for them and have things handed to them. It ain't like that. You got to get up and you got to grind and you got to work hard if you want anything positive to happen for you in your life. And that's what it is. The same shit. Like, at first, like, I realize even now, like, as I'm doing it more, it's like another job because you got to stay on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's fun, bro. Well,
I feel like I don't get the algorithm because all the shit I like is the shit that YouTube does not like, bro. I'm like, fuck you, YouTube, bro.
Yeah, well, you got a different lane, but but just keep at it.
I should hop on Rumble, huh?
Keep at it. But I've been noticing, like, I've been seeing your shorts more popping up. And
I try to do one a day now, dude.
Yeah, see, that's what it's about. Bro. It's like you start popping up more people just click because out of curiosity, and it's also what you have in your thumbnail.
Yeah, that's important too. That's a big one, dude.
Like I said, all this stuff, like, if for anybody that wants to do YouTube and stuff, it's not difficult. You can Google all this stuff. How do I do this? How do I do that? And there's information out there. Yeah, it's just, are you consistent enough? Are you a hustler enough to put in the hard work?
That's what it comes down to, hustling, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure, bro.
I know I got that in me. Yeah. I've been doing that since I was a little kid. I've always, hustled for every little thing I have.
Yeah, that's true. Because I'll see some good ass videos, but it's just not making no movement, and it's just something about how he did it,
Yeah,
it just
man.
wasn't there,
Just keep at it, bro. And that's what I say for anything. If it's important to you and you're doing it like out of enjoyment and you love it, then it's gonna work out. You just gotta keep going.
So let me ask you this, dude. Let's take it back, dude. We talked about some random YouTube stuff, but
yeah, man.
What got you started into jiu-jitsu, man?
Oh man, so like I always used to fight growing up. I used to fight a lot because I was a Persian kid in like a black neighborhood.
Is there a lot of Persians that do jiu-jitsu, or?
No, there is more nowadays, but in my time coming up, it was very rare. I didn't meet hardly any. There was like a couple people I knew that did jiu-jitsu.
Sorry, it's just one thing I was wondering. I was like,
but there is now, for sure there is, and there's a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
But no, like I was, I would fight a lot, bro, and like I've been, I'd been done martial arts as a kid and stuff. I had done taekwondo, karate, box, everything. And like, so I knew how to fight, and I always had kind of heavy hands, and I was always nervous to hurt people, but I would always fight because I was put in situations that I had to fight. And then, as I got a little bit older, I started going to juvenile hall and jail a lot. In my teenage years, after I turned like 13, 14, I would start to go to juvenile hall, and then juvenile hall, like you're just gonna fight in there.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to,
dog world.
Yeah, you're gonna fight in there.
Yeah,
if you whether it's a riot or whether somebody's testing you and you got to stand up for yourself, you're gonna fight in juvenile hall and in jail. So being in fights, and then like the main time I got out of jail, like I did a year, and that year was kind of harsh because it was a lot of riots, and like when
just happened to be your year.
Well, it is what it is. Like when you get into jail, and this is for a lot of people that are messing up, they should know this, is like when you get in there, like you're gonna immediately have to be a part of a race.
Definitely.
So and you might not agree with the politics, but you're gonna do what you're told in there as far as the politics, otherwise you're gonna get hurt. So you're forced to kind of be involved in that stuff. And yeah, man, that full year, man, there's so many riots, and I was in a car that's very few people, and
who do the Persians go with? They go with the brothers and others, or
I was from a black neighborhood,
okay.
and I so for me,
he's with the brothers.
I was with the brothers.
Yeah, boy.
Respect, and they were my friends. They were my family. They were the people I grew up with on my street. They were, like I eat lunch with them, and like we go to school together and walk home. So for me, these were my close friends, So when I was getting ready to go do time, of course, everybody thought I was a Southsider. So all the homies would
I thought you were Mexican when I first met you, dude.
Yeah, everybody did.
I was like,
so
cool.
all the Southsiders would come like, "Hey, you a homie?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm black." That's what my homies told me. Tell me you're black, and tell them where you're from, and that's it. And so, yeah, man. So I got to really see like a lot of racism in there, a lot of fighting and stuff, and then I got out. And then I violated probation and went back again. And it was that time that I went back that I was like, man, this is out. Because when I was in there for a year, bro, I saw a lot of people get out. They would get out, they come back, get out, they come back. And in my head, I'm like, I can't wait to go home. This fucking idiot does not, he doesn't care about his life. And then when it was me that it happened to, and I was back there, and I remember I looked in the county. They have these mirrors that you can't see yourself in. You know what I mean? They're like scratched on and tagged on.
Yeah,
but you can kind of see a blur of yourself. I remember looking, I could kind of see myself, and I thought, damn. And I remember seeing the orange jumpsuit on it, and like looking in the mirror, I'm like, damn, you're that guy.
Yeah,
and I was back, and that was it for me. And that time. Like, I think they offered me, the other times they never offered me a job. Like, but this time, like, I think I was 2 weeks in, and this time I was only going to do 3 months for violation. And when I was doing the violation, they asked me, "Do you want to work?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" Because
when
you work, they take you out. You're not sitting around. There's less bullshit to deal with.
And you get favors, bro.
And then they move you to the workers' dorm.
Yeah, workers' dorm.
So workers' dorm are a bunch of people that want to work and they don't want to be involved too much in the politics and all the bullshit. So when I moved there, it was like cool, and I worked and I cleaned the offices and shit inside of Theo Lacey in the.
Oh, you went to Lacey, bro?
That's. Every time I did
time, I went to Maine. Maine was the worst, dude.
I hate Theo Lacey, man. It's disgusting. That place is disgusting. But yeah, so like, yeah, I did that 3 months, and then when I got out, bro, that was it. I was like, like this is not. I'm not coming back here no more. And I went and I moved. That time when I got out, because I was living in Santa Ana my whole life, pretty much. And then my parents had moved while I was locked up the second time, and they had moved to Palm Springs. So I moved out there, And I moved out there, to get away from my friends, get out of trouble, start to change my life because that's what I wanted to do. I didn't care about that anymore. And I had been rapping since I was 12, and I had started, this whole time I'm rapping and I'm trying to do stuff with my rap music. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go to Palm Springs. I'm gonna start doing my thing out there. I'm gonna start working on my music because I was getting pretty good. And yeah, bro. So we moved to Palm Springs, and that's like, kind of where I started to do my music and stuff. I made some CDs. I know you asked me about how I got into jiu-jitsu,
no, let's just go. Just take it back. It's part of the story.
So I'm selling CDs and stuff, and I start selling CDs in Palm Springs. And then as I'm selling CDs, I start to want to get in shape, and I start boxing again and moving around because I used to box when I was younger. So I start boxing and stuff, and just to work out. And then I'll start watching the UFC. And when I started watching the UFC, I see some submissions and stuff on there. I'm like, what the fuck was that? That was crazy. I was like, man, that'd be cool. I want to learn how to do that shit. And just by chance, like a few days after I see that, like I'm watching and I'm paying more attention because I had seen these UFC things before, but I just didn't pay attention. I didn't give a fuck about, the stuff at the time was important to me. But after being in all these riots and shit like that, it was like fighting was a little bit more, like in my life. It was in my life again. Yeah, it was like all the time. Like, okay, got to be on.
How old were you at this point?
I think I was like 20, 21.
Okay.
Yeah, around. I was very young. I was very young because I'm about to be 43, and I've been doing jiu-jitsu 19 years now. Damn. Yeah, so I started when I was 24. But yeah, so I would say I think I was 21, 20 when I did the year. I moved out to Palm Springs a couple years out there. I was selling CDs, and that's when I started doing, as I was selling the CDs, I started working out. And then one day, right after I pay attention to those UFC fights, I'm selling CDs in this parking lot in Cat City, and I see this car pull up, and it's got tap out, like gigantic sized on the side of the truck.
Yeah.
And when I saw that
old school M.M.A. days, bro.
Yeah. And that word was like, you knew what it was. Like, so everybody had the shorts and t-shirts and shit trying to look like a fighter, right?
What was those guys that owned it, dude? What was their names? Do you remember their names?
Punk Ass and Tap Out.
Yeah.
The dude, one of the dudes, I think he was drunk and he killed himself, or he crashed his car on Jamboree in Irvine.
Oh, what was that?
Yeah. I don't remember exactly what it was. I mean, Smoothie might be able to look it up, but yeah, one of the owners of the original Tap Out dude, he was driving like a Ferrari down Jamboree, and total Mask. There you go, Mask. Shout out to condolences to his family and all that. But yeah, Mask.
Mask.
They were good dudes too. The whole Tap Out crew, man. They're
part of the culture, bro. They push that thing, dude,
man.
Back when it was popular.
When you're partying, you living that lifestyle, man. You're driving Ferraris 100 miles an hour down Jamboree. That's shit happens, man. But yeah, I see the Tap Out. I'm like, I'm gonna sell that dude a CD, right? I was selling CDs to everybody, but I was like, that guy's got to be cool. He does that shit. So I pulled up on him, and I sold him a CD, and I was like, hey, at the end, I was like, hey, bro, where do you do that stuff at? And he's like, oh, man, I train over here at this place called Kurt Rojo's Road Dog House. Road Dog House, I think it was. I might be wrong at the time. It was a long time ago. But he's like, yeah, man, just hit him up. Go over there and train. There's a lot of fighters there. And I was like, okay. And so a couple of days went by, and I looked it up. I called, found out where it was, and I went and I trained. And fuck, bro. That first night, they first of all, they were training in a room that had carpet. Ooh. So like, yeah, can you imagine doing jigs on a carpet?
Why would you do that?
I think but because they were transitioning from a school to another place, and they had left that spot, so they were in a transition.
Yeah. They just said, "Fuck it, bro. We're gonna get it, bro."
Fuck, man, rug burns, elbows, everything. Like, yeah,
that was part of the technique.
But the dudes were all fighters, and they were good. A lot of them. Yeah. I got fucked up.
Yeah.
I think that first night, man, I tapped so many times. I don't even remember how many. It was at least 20, 30.
Did you even know what jiu-jitsu was before? Like, you seen it on UFC?
I saw it on the UFC, but I didn't understand what jiu-jitsu in particular was. I understood what M.M.A. was.
Yeah,
I understood what
it was
UFC,
in there, but you didn't know.
But yeah, I just saw like, oh, that's just fighting. I didn't understand what it was gonna be like.
Was it back when they were doing the slaps? Were you part of that era?
No.
That was before?
No. That's that. Yeah, that's like pancration.
Okay.
That's like but that's like old school, real old school.
I say we should bring it back. Let's make it new school, bro.
They actually have combat jiu-jitsu now where they slap the shit out of each other, bro.
I like that, bro. I like that.
I can't do. I would never be able to do that because if you slap the shit out of me, I'm gonna punch you in your face.
Like, fuck the slap, bitch.
Yeah, you can't slap me, man. I'm put hands on you. We're gonna be fighting. I couldn't do that. To me, getting slapped is almost worse than getting punched. You know, what I'm saying?
I've seen people like palm each other.
Yeah, dude, you can fuck people up with that shit, bro. You can generate some heavy strikes with the U of your palm. Yeah, 100%.
I seen some dude getting armbarred and he just was like, bah, bah.
And it's a good way to set up submissions and stuff. Like if you don't want to hurt your knuckles and stuff, like it's actually, a smart way to open make them move around to where they start bringing their hands up to defend and then dive on a submission.
I respect it.
Yeah. But yeah, man, the dude told me, and bro, like I trained that first night and I remember driving home, bro, like they had choked my neck so many times that I was fucked up and my neck was hurting and the car just all of a sudden I was like, oh shit, I'm about to throw up. Fucking pull my shirt up, just start throwing up in my shirt. I threw up 3 times on the way home, and then finally just
what a great drive home, dude.
Fucking terrible, right? I get home and I get in the shower and I put a hot shower. My neck's all hurting. And I'm thinking, and I'm under there. I'm thinking I gotta get good at that shit. That's just if I knew how to do that stuff, I'd kick anybody.
You're sold.
I was like, I'll be, because I already knew I wasn't afraid to throw hands with nobody, right? I fight like almost 100 people a couple times, like in these riots.
Kumite right there.
Yeah, bro. Like it's like from everywhere. It's fucking nuts, right? But yeah, I wasn't worried about that. But I was like, man, if I knew how to do that, jiu-jitsu and like hit somebody on the ground, like man, that's a big advantage to have in a fight. So yeah, man, I sold the CDs a couple more days too, and then I ended up running into another dude named Gilbert that's, my black belt now. And he gave me a flyer to another gym. And the other gym was called Palm Springs Jiu-Jitsu and M.M.A. And I called the dude. His name was Ramon. Ramon, rest in peace. He actually got murdered.
Oh.
Yeah, bro. He got murdered in front of his house, bro.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, fucking crazy story, man. Yeah, but I hit him up and he's like, yeah, man. I asked him, like, do you guys have mats and stuff? Like, I like, do you guys all train on rugs and shit? Like, he's like, no, man, we got mats and, Cub Swanson, because I told him I want to get ready. I would like to do MMA. And he's like, yeah, we have Cub Swanson trains here and all that. We got a lot of fighters. Like, come on down, man. So I went there and, man, I started training with them and shout out to all those guys, man. And, condolences to Ramon Diaz and, Ramon Diaz's family and students, man. It was crazy, man, when I found out that he got murdered. But he was a good dude, man. It's the reason I met Joe and everything,
Damn.
Yeah, it's a trip, bro. Cause I trained for another like 3 months and my parents were like, we're moving back to Santa Ana. I'm like, oh shit. Like,
and that's how you met Joe, or
you met Joe? Yeah. So my parents like, hey, time's up here. Like my parents kind of moved there to help get me out of trouble because they didn't want me to be in Santa Ana.
It's a good move, dude.
Yeah, and it helped because I changed my life around over there. I started doing all positive stuff, and it's also because I wanted to do that anyway.
Yeah, that's where you started rapping too.
My homeboys, like were not telling me to like get in trouble anymore. At that point, they were telling me to chill out. Yeah. Chill out, dude. You need to do music. You need to, like, what's wrong with you? Like, I wanted to show off. I wanted to do that. And my friends around me, my homeboys were telling me like, dude, you're talented. Like, do the music, do this, do that. I didn't want to hear it. I wanted to do what I wanted to do. And then when I saw what was going to happen, then I was like, okay, I want to do right. So when we moved back here to Orange County, I was like, man, what am I going to do? And I wanted to keep training, bro. But I went to a few gyms. I wasn't feeling it. You know what I mean? I didn't like the way the training was. One place, they were like, you can't roll.
You just because you're too low of a belt?
Because I didn't have no stripes. And they're like, I understand. I'm not hating on that. Like, I get it. Everyone.
Is that a thing in the jiu-jitsu world?
It is in some places, yeah, because they want to make sure you don't get hurt and stuff. And it is true. Yeah. A lot of people do get hurt in the beginning. I understand it, but that's not, I had been training already. Like 4 months, and I wanted to train.
Yeah.
So I that wasn't gonna go there. So I looked around, and then I was almost ready to just be like, man, I can't find nowhere. I'm not gonna do this no more. And then I recalled Ramon, and I was like, man, I told him the story. He's like, say, man, go see Joe. Joe, that was my coach. And like, then I start learning like, oh, there's teams and you'll still be part of our team. I'm part of our team. What are you talking about? Like, I did not, none of this shit I hadn't even thought about all that yet. And then I was like, okay. And so he gave me Joe's number and like, I called Joe and like Joe answered the phone. And this was like, 19 years ago. Joe's English is like bad, bro. I didn't understand a fucking word Joe said, man. Yeah. He's like, I'm like, what the? I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah. I pretend like I understood what he said. I hung up and I tried to look him up and I couldn't find him. I was like, man. So I called Ramon. He's like, yeah, man, here's the address, bro. I'm like, bro, I can't understand him. He's like, bro, just go over there and train and you're gonna, you'll get the hang of it. You're gonna love him and you'll understand how he talks and eventually end up being his translator, to most people when they don't know him. But yeah, I went over there, man, and I met Joe and like, dude, like the angel I needed, man, the godfather, the mentor, the only person that you could have put in front of me that could have changed my life, you know what I mean? And really kept me on the right path. And it's almost like he knew that right away. Because when he met me, like, he, right away took me under his wing, put his arm around me, and he's like, you're going to be a really good fighter, but I want you to train here. I want you to stay with me. I'm going to make you really good. And one day you're going to be a really good instructor. I never had nobody like outside of the street life, like, tell me anything positive. Like, so for me, seeing this man that I looked up to, a UFC legend and a godfather of Jiu-Jitsu in Orange County, which is, a lot of people don't give him the credit for, but he is the original godfather who brought Jiu-Jitsu to Orange County, who started the tournaments out here, who brought the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts out here from Brazil, who made lives for all of them as it's unfolding on my podcast as well. And so like, yeah, man, it was just like, I needed that guy so bad and I never had that. And so I took to Joe right away, and Joe, like, he took me under his wing, and like I was with him all the time, man. Like we would go to seminars together. I go tomorrow, I go here, tomorrow I go there. Like I'd be his dummy for his privates. I would go to morning class. I would go to night class. They had me right away help start teaching kids class so I could learn how to teach. And yeah, man,
it's like a snowball effect,
dude. It was
how one thing just leads to
when I look back on it. It's like when, you think about your life, it's like it couldn't have been more perfect.
Like, sometimes one event can change the course of your whole life.
Like it really does change every event in your life, man. Yeah. Think if I wouldn't have called and talked to Ramon,
Or you just would have got set up with the shitty coach,
Yeah, it's just so crazy how it all worked out, man. And I just needed that father figure, as a lot of people do. And as I'm, becoming older and I'm a coach now, starting to see like how important that is. And I was very fortunate because I got to tell Joe that recently on a podcast that I did with him, how I felt it, how important at that time of my life that was for me, because I could have gone in two different directions, know. And
I think that's what a good coach recognizes, dude, is like when someone needs a little bit like special attention,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Frankie is the same way, dude. And
yeah, shout out to Coach Frankie, man.
That's Coach Frankie,
He's one of the most solid, real coaches I've ever been around. And it's been awesome for me to see, because I'm learning from him and the way he is and the way he carries himself. And it's good because I need to see that. I never look at myself like I've gotten to where I need to be. I need to always evolve.
Yeah.
And he's just such a solid dude, and everything he's ever told me has been 100, and the way he treats his students and you guys, like I feel like the way I am with my guys, he's like that with his guys. So that's why me and him,
dude, there's a lot of parallels between you two.
We mesh so well, so it's like and that's another thing, like how I end up running into the most, perfect gym I could have gone to. Cause it wasn't just him. Like, of course, much love to him. He's the man, but it was all the people around him that were also a part of it, like Ava, like Juan, like you guys, like, you know, Christian. When I first got there, you, Julio, like the whole gym, the people that I originate, like Agu, you know, all the original people that
Yosh, bro, Lil Yosh, bro.
Yeah. Well, even the guys that originally got there, and even the newer guys, but Drew, like all the guys, they're all so respectful and so cool. So it's just been a crazy thing for me to see as well, like another coach. But yeah, you know, Frankie reminds me of that type of individual as well. And, you know, I'm hoping that I'm like that for my students as well. But yeah, man, like Joe was it, man. He told me what jiu-jitsu was, and I understood that I needed it more than, you know, your average individual, you know, because I went through a time period of you know, I had a group, and one of my homeboys was in the group, and I was doing jiu-jitsu, and I was teaching, and I was full-time. My homeboys kind of didn't want me to just be gone like that.
Yeah, they stopped hitting you up, bro, after a while.
It's not that they stopped hitting me up. They can't hit me up more. I'm trying not to get hit up, and they're hitting me up more and more. On, bro. Yeah. So, and like, I started to see, like, we go to do shows and shit. And like, you know, like one time I went to do a show. I was part of a group. We had traction. I was part of a group called Gutter Gang. And we had a couple songs that were on the radio. We had a song that Universal had heard, and they wanted to sign us. And we were about to do a show, and there was going to be a lot of people there. And my homeboy gets there before I get there, and I guess someone's talking to his girl, and he hits the dude with a bottle.
Ooh.
As I'm walking up, there's police pulling up and helicopters. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, where was that at?
This was in There's a spot right here in Irvine. I forget what it's called. It's
the Verizon Amphitheater?
No. It's smaller than that. It's by John Wayne Airport. It's like across the street. I don't remember back in the day what they used to call it, but people used to perform there. And as I'm pulling up there to perform, they're bringing my homeboy out, and like he's going to jail.
Yeah. So you still perform or what?
That night? No, hell no.
You just showed up and been like, fuck it, little man showed
up. Oh man, like this is crazy, man. So it's like,
I'd have been like, opportunity, dog.
So it's like that type of shit just kept happening, bro. And like, you know, and then, you know, I end up, you know, one night I end up going out, and then, you know, we get into a situation, and, you know, like I'm gonna end up getting stabbed and stuff. And I had been shot before, you know, when I was younger, and I had been shot at before because of the life that I had, the area that I lived, and the people that
you associated with.
This was in my young age, you know, and I really didn't have a choice. This was like where I lived, you know, friends and stuff, and you know, it was what it was. But yeah, I was, you know, just trying to get out of that life, and I was still kind of 1 foot in type shit, you know, like hanging out when I shouldn't. And Joe kept kind of seeing me like, you know, why are you still going out like with those guys and hanging out? Something bad is gonna happen. Just leave it alone. And one night that came true.
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, I just ended up getting jumped, and you know, like the way it was is like, you know, it's fair if it's like 1-on-1, but if it's like 4 or 5, and then there's a knife there,
it's a knife alone already.
Yeah, you know, I don't mind.
They knew you knew the jits, bro.
I don't mind. I didn't mind getting punched. You know, like that's not a big deal to me. I've been jumped before. I've been in the riots, all that, so it's not a big deal. Like I can handle that. But this time, like I could feel the knife, like it felt different. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought I was getting punched, but then I was like, damn, that's sharp, you know? So it ended up hitting like the top of my like side of my head, my cheek, my ear, like another one on the side of my head. And then I kind of was in like a situation where I was like hunched over because I was like coming from everywhere. And then I got hit in the back of my head, and then in my back. And then finally I was able to lock with somebody, fall to the ground, land on top of somebody, like with like my shoulder and their chin, their head hit the thing, and everyone was like yelling, and then it stopped. And then I just started looking, and I could feel like blood, just like so much blood, like where it was like every time you go like this, again, it would just cover. So I just kept wiping I'm like, damn, what happened? I still hadn't realized I've been stabbed yet. You know what I'm saying? And people are looking at me all crazy, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I start like looking down, and I'm starting to see blood just dripping on the ground. And so I'm like, damn, man, I got something happened to me here. So I look, I'm like, damn, I see a door, and I'm like, you know what? I walk through the door, and I just leave. No one comes in.
That was inside or what
yeah, it was actually inside in the backyard, and then I came through the house, and then I came out through the side door where the kitchen was.
What?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Wait, so how'd that even conspire? So you're just chilling at the homies pad? Or
it was a party. It was like a big party.
Happens, dude.
Yeah, man. Haters, bro.
Yeah, dude.
No, but I put myself in that situation again around people I shouldn't have been. And so, I left, and I got my car, and I drove, and
you drove?
Yeah, dude.
Oh shit, bro.
I didn't realize like what had happened
You're
to
about
me
that
yet.
life, dog.
I got my car. I took my shirt off too, like, cause my shit got so drenched. I took my shirt off and threw it on the ground. And I got in my car, and I was like, man, I'm driving out the cul-de-sac, and I remember thinking to myself, damn, what happened, man? And I'm trying to replay it in my mind. I'm like, who was it? Like, what? Why? Like, what? And then I'm like, let me call my coach. So I started calling Joe. That is my first reaction. I start calling Joe. Joe doesn't answer. This is like the first time he doesn't answer. He always answers my call. Something's up. Like, what's going on? Why is he not answering my call? I call him a couple more times, doesn't answer. And I'm like, okay. And at that time, there was another dude that was one of the coaches there. His name was Marcelo. And I went to call him, and I went to, he answered the phone. He's like, what's up, Legacy? And I told him, hey, I think I got stabbed. He's like, what? You're kidding me. Are you okay? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, do you need to go to the hospital? I'm like, I don't know. And then I looked.
Were you sober, or were you like?
Yeah, I was
just shocked.
At that time, I don't think I even drank alcohol at that time. Yeah,
Hey.
Yeah, I didn't drink when I was younger. So yeah, I was pretty much sober. Yeah. I think I might have smoked weed or something like
You're
that.
Just like, damn, I got shanked, bro.
Yeah. So like when he asked, that's when it hit me. Like, like, do you need to go to the hospital? I'm like, damn. And I look up in the rearview mirror, and I remember I can see I could see like right here on the side of my head, and right here I could see like a little bit of the bone on this one, because this one was big. And then I had at this time I didn't have the beard. I had a goatee. So and then there was a slice this area, so I could see that, and then I could see the ear, and I was like, damn, and then I reached to because I could feel I was hurting in the back of my head a little bit, and I reached, and I felt the flap on the back of my head was like kind of hanging.
Oh,
so I felt that.
I think I gotta go to the hospital.
That's what I said. I felt that.
You told me, coach.
Yeah, I think I need to go to the hospital. He's like, okay. He's like, can you drive? I was like, yeah, I'm cool. He's like, come. And at the time, his house was on the way to the hospital. So he's like, come to my house, and I'll take you to the hospital. And I was like, all right, cool. And so I drove to his house. I get to his house, bro. He comes outside, and he's like, I'm gonna get in the hospital. Get in the passenger seat. I get in the passenger seat. He sits in the driver's seat, and he turns and looks at me, and he like,
this fool throws up.
This fool. No, listen to me, bro. He rolls like
he passes out. You gonna drive?
He falls out of the car and rolls, and then he just throws up. I'm like, oh shit. So here I am, all chopped up. And I'm like, I'm leaning out the car. You want me to go get your wife? You want me to go get? Are you all right? And he's like, no. We got to get you to the hospital. Like, just
don't look at me.
Yeah. He's like, don't look at me. He's like, put a towel. You got a towel? Put a towel over here. And I look, and I like grab a t-shirt, and I put a t-shirt over my head, and we drive to fucking Hogue Hospital.
To find out that you passed out in front of blood, bro. First time ever,
man. And then this is the craziest part. We get to Hogue, and when we get to Hogue, and I'm walking through the front door of the emergency room, and Joe and his wife, Master Joe, my coach, is sitting there with his wife right in the front, waiting to go to the emergency room. And he jumps up because I'm walking in like just fight shorts.
So he just was randomly in the hospital,
dude.
What
he jumps up, and he looks at me, and he's with Gisele, with his wife, and he looks at me, and he's like, what happened? dude, he went from like, Joe's a dark man. He went from dark to pale in like a second. Boom.
Wait, so is he at the hospital because of you or already?
No, he was there
just randomly.
I'm gonna tell you why in a second. So I'm trying to talk to him. He's like, what happened? I was like, man, I got stabbed. And he's like, what the, like, Legacy? Like, and then they came and get me right away and take me in the back because I got my stab wound and the police are going to start coming to ask what happened to me. So they take me straight in the back. And dude, I had like a lot of nurses, like just from everywhere, just like, where are you cut? Do you know where you're cut? I'm like, no. So they start looking everywhere. They wiping me down and then they start stitching me up. And then the police came and shit like that. But I didn't really get to talk to Joe. Later on, I find out he was there because Gisele was having a miscarriage and she had a miscarriage that night.
Dang.
Yeah.
What a fucked up night, bro.
What a fucked up night, right?
They put some bad juju on your gym or something, bro.
That's what I'm saying, too. And that's when it hit me, like, when I found that out, I was like, fuck, that was my... I was kind of... I thought to myself, like, damn, like, I didn't listen to him and look what happened. Something bad happened, you know?
Oh.
Like, I felt like it was bad karma. Like, he's been telling you not to go out and you don't listen, you do something and something bad happens to you and then look what happens. So it's just a weird, like, how it all kind of happened that same night. And
that would get you.
That changed my life, man. I never from then on I treated myself like, you know, like untouchable. I stayed away from I stay out of, you know, out the way, and I do all positive stuff after.
Yeah, definitely. Was that before
it's not that scared me because I'm not scared of nothing, but I realized at that moment, like, man, like, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. And, you know, I have action to do positive things, and you know, I'm letting people down, and to see the look on my coach's face, like, I was like, man, that, you know, I don't want him to feel like that. And he was, you know, that was the night that I fully committed to martial arts, and I was like, man, that's it. This is gonna be my life. This is not gonna happen to me again, bro. You know, so yeah, man. After that, I just dove all in, man. No more, you know, I became, you know, I had Layla, and, you know, then I had Zach and Mackenzie. And
I was going to ask if that was before you had kids or.
No, Layla was born already when that happened. Yeah, Layla was, I don't remember. She was very, very young, but I think she might've been one when this happened, something like that. But yeah, man, I was like, that's it. It's time to be a man. It's time to stay away from situations like that. It's time to be the martial artist that you're supposed to be, and
to live the life, bro.
Yeah, man. And I'm actually glad all that happened to me, and I'm not ashamed of, you know, I talk about it openly. You know, I'll admit, you know, when I first thought about, like, back in the days, like, I always kept my Instagram and everything private too, because I don't want people like, oh, you got in trouble when you were younger, and I was always worried about that because of the martial arts, you know. But I realized as I'm getting older, like, that's actually a good thing. And I'm not afraid of it. I'm not afraid of people knowing that I've been in jail and gotten in trouble, and I've fucked up and made mistakes when I was younger and been in that life, you know, because I think I learned from it. And I wouldn't do any of those types of things now. And I wouldn't let any of the people around me do those types of things. And so for me, I use it as experience to help others to stay away from, you know, this happening to them, or, you know, like, you never know who you could influence to not waste some time in their life like I did, you know. And I could have got killed that night.
That could have been it.
One of those knife slices could have come across my throat, and that would have been it for me.
Yeah,
you know.
Imagine like how, like, your daughter.
Same thing with the gunshots, dude. I had my homeboy got killed right in front of me when I was young. It's
like, make better choices, man.
Yeah, man. It's like God is only gonna, when you decide to do wrong in your life, God is only gonna give you so many chances.
Yeah.
You know? Some people don't believe in God, but, you know, like, I do. You know, and when you keep asking for trouble, when you keep looking for trouble, you're gonna find it.
Yeah,
it's gonna find you.
Well, I just feel like the environment you put yourself in becomes the life that you live.
100%.
So it's like, we all have a choice, dude.
100%. Yeah. So that's why, you know, getting into jiu-jitsu just completely changed my environment, man. And like, the people in the gym became my family, my friends. I still talk to people I started training with, you know, and then, you know, like, you look back and it's like, these are people, you know, these are the people you wanted to be around. These are the people that you wanted to be. Now, as I get older, those are my only friends. My students are my friends. You know, the people at the gym are my friends. These are the friends you want to have. These are the friends you can count on when some shit goes wrong in your life. They're not going to come tell you to go do let's go do some drugs or let's go get in trouble, you know? Yeah. They're going to tell you something positive for you. They're going to try to, if they got your best interest at heart, they're going to tell you something that's good for you.
Yeah. At least if you
whether it hurts your feelings or not.
At least if you go to like a good gym with like coaches that care, bro. Because, you know, some gyms are like that, bro. I've been to gyms where if they just go to train, you know, they don't have that like communal, like family.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's on the coach, right? If the coach has no, like, if he's in it for the money, then it's obvious to see. Yeah. Then there's no relationship. There might be relationships with a couple people, but then it won't be like me. Like I'm different, man. I come in the gym. I'll walk across the street, not across the street. I'll walk across the mat and say what's up to everybody.
Yeah,
to everybody. Dude. Like, cause you know what? I'm humble. I don't care. I'm not nobody special. I'm the same like you. I'm another guy in the gym that needs the gym just like you do. So when I go there, I go shake everybody's hand, give everybody a hug. It's my family. It's my play.
Do you feel that like the person that gets driven to martial arts is generally the person that like goes through things like that, you know?
You know, it's funny because last night I interviewed like the world Muay Thai champion, and he's like, he had a perfect childhood, everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
You get those up.
Why did you get into the fight?
You do get those up, but I feel like the catalyst for like someone that indulges in martial arts as like a lifestyle, I think it's because their old life was like just something that kind of shitty.
I think there's to be honest, a lot of different reasons. Could be from bullying.
Yeah.
Could be for fitness.
There's that too.
It could be for self-defense. There's so many positive reasons for them to go. It could be for being social, you know, and not necessarily. Some people, that's their social life, bro. You know, some people don't want to go to the club and drink, and that's not what there's. You know, they don't want to go to parties and stuff. That becomes their social life, and then it's good for mental health.
Definitely good for that.
You know, for sure. Like especially if you got a chip on your shoulder. Yeah. If you got a chip on your shoulder, the gym will knock that chip off your shoulder.
Especially for kids, dude. For kids, especially, bro.
You know, especially in our gym, if you come in a chip over there, you're gonna get that chip knocked out.
So let me bring it back real quick though. Yeah. So while you were going through this whole jiu-jitsu journey, when you got stabbed and all that, were you still rapping, or did you feel like you had to pick one?
The rap never stopped, bro. I've been, you know, like I've been putting albums out since I was 12. Bro.
Did you ever feel like you had to pick one, like you were?
No. You know, that's the beauty of it, right? Because rap was my first thing from from very young, from 12 years old. I knew I wanted to rap, and you know, I've done it. You know, I've had this. I'm working on my 10th album right now. You know,
shout out Legacy's album.
Yeah, Persian Legacy. Yeah, check me out. But yeah, like, you know, no, I never stopped. The whole time since I've been 12, I've been working on my next album.
12?
Yeah.
Damn,
yeah, man. I used to make I used to make little mixtapes. When you first when they had what's it called, Acid. I used to have a computer, like the old school computers you could record on these programs called Acid, and yeah, man, I would record on a fucking karaoke machine if you let me, bro. I've done that. Dude, man. I knew what I wanted to do at a very young age, and I did it. I learned. I didn't know how to rap, Mo. I suck, bro. I suck.
That's one of those things you just learn on the job, bro. You know?
Dude, I used to write like, you know what I mean? Like just rhymes, with no beat, you know? And like, I would always say I'm a rapper. I knew of my homeboys that would rap, but I would never like rap with them. I pretend like I was, you know, I had my own thing going on, right? So one day they're like, yeah, like you should bring Legacy to the studio, like, cause my older homies, they had a studio, and they brought me over there, and then I remember they put a Damo. I had a homeboy named Damo, and he's signed to Joe Moses. He's very good, bro. In my opinion, the best rapper from out of Orange County ever. He never had the hustle with it. Like, he never got his stuff out the way he should have, right? But yeah, man, they played me one of his songs, man. I like looked for the exit. I was like, where can I walk out of here? Like, cause they wanted to hear me rap now. Yeah. Nah. But man, they heard me rap. They laughed at me a little bit, and then they taught me how to rap.
That's what's up, dude.
They taught me how to
rap.
Like
with Joe, dude.
My homeboys, these dudes, man, like they like as bad as sometimes people in bad places get a rap for. These dudes love me. They treated me like a family member. They always told me to do positive things. They taught me how to rap, bro. They taught me how to be on beat, how to write bars. When I was starting to like get songs, my homeboy was, the one that, let's press up CDs, go sell CDs. And, they got me on all that stuff. So if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been gotten anywhere with the music either. So it's like everything comes around to the people around you that help you to do things. But yeah, so like, the whole time, man, I've never stopped making albums. And even though now like the streaming is different and like the money is different, I have albums online, but like I'm always still working on an album, like I don't just drop singles. I'm like, okay, I'm working on this album. I'm just used to the old school way. Yeah. But no, I never stopped. And like that for a long time, that's what I did, bro. I used to sell CDs in the streets. That's how I made a living.
Yeah. Now it's MP3s.
Yeah, man.
I used to sell MP3s.
Towards the end, people, when I was trying to sell my CDs, people were telling me, I don't even have a CD player in here, bro. What do you want me to do with this? I'm like, man, play it at the house. Put it in your computer.
How was that whole transition going from like CDs to MP3s?
Dude, well, like I got to what happened was like I was selling CDs till I got to a point finally where I was able to make money off of my royalties and martial arts to where it was taking care of me. It would take care of my living where I didn't have to sell CDs anymore. I'll be honest, I made a lot more money selling CDs on the streets, bro. You know what I mean? Because I looked at it like a job. I treated it like a job. I would make $250 a day every single day. And when they didn't have cash, I would take Venmo, I would take PayPal. You couldn't get
what you got, dog? I'll take food stamps or whatever you got,
man.
Bro.
So I treated it like a job. So I would make more money like that.
Yeah.
But I didn't like doing that, man. I did it for a long time. I did it since a young kid, I sold CDs for like 15 years, bro. Ooh. Yeah, in the streets. No bullshit.
These kids don't know, bro.
People will vouch for me in Orange County too and tell you their grandma and their aunties got my CDs. And like, yeah, man, I hustled, man. I knew like I had good music, but I knew nobody was gonna give me no money unless like I went out and got it.
Yeah.
So I went out and got it, bro. I hustled and I'm just always working on that next CD,
Yeah. So when'd you say that your next album's released at?
So right now, what we're working on is my 10th album, which should be coming out soon. I was gonna plan on dropping it on my birthday, but I've just been so busy with the podcast and stuff, and they got so much going on with the kids and the gym, and so I'm just like, I'm busy, man. So probably push it out another like month or two.
Pretty recent,
but yeah, it'll be coming out soon.
What is the hottest single in your opinion on that album?
I got a single out right now, which is on.
But on the album that you're dropping right now, what's the hottest song do you think?
Well, that's the thing, right? There's so many good ones, man. I did a lot of stuff. Yeah, I did a lot of different things on here. I try to mix it up. So. But I got a song that's out right now that I think people will really like. It. I talk about Orange County and Santa Ana in the song. I try to shout out, some of the neighborhoods and give respect and try to like up. I want this town deserves the respect. Orange County deserves the respect and the love that it should have, especially in the music industry, which we don't have as much. So I think that's a good single. It's out right now. It's doing well on Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff.
What's the name of it?
So if you look up Persian Legacy, and the name of the song is called The Message, and you could, that's a single like little teaser before the album comes out. All right. And then I don't want to give too much away, but the album's banging. And then after this album comes out, I'm actually just featured on artists that's signed to a major, and they were signed to Shady. They were signed to M.M.A record label back in the day. His name's Cassius, and I kind of grew up with him. And there's a producer, his name, they call him Rick Anati, and I'm actually starting to work with them. I just did a feature for Cassius on one of his hardest songs. So I'm on that song, which is coming out with him. We might shoot the video for that, and then I'm actually gonna be working on my next album with Rick, who's a Universal dude. Like he's got songs for Rick Ross, Eminem, Game, and
There you go.
All that. So yeah,
I feel like your sound is pretty similar to like that like game
that
like
sound,
type. Yeah.
I got a raspy kind of voice, you know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you know, like yeah, I'm working, bro. I feel like I'm in prime time.
2024, dog.
I'm like, man, I got a work ethic like no other. Like, man, like I surrounded myself. I'm one of those type of people that needs to be busy and I need to be doing positive things. That's why you see, I lift weights 6 days a week. I run, I bike and swim. I do triathlon workouts, you know, 3 days a week. I do cardio on the days that I don't.
No days off, dog.
Yeah, no, you know, and if I'm not doing that, I'm in this. You guys see me, I'm in the studio recording songs, or you know, I'm recording a podcast, or you know, or I'm training, or I'm teaching my students, or doing a private. Like that's all I do these days, bro. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I live the life of a samurai, is the way I look at it. Like I'm ready for war, even if there's no war. You know what I mean?
Any jiu-jitsu news? What's the next competition for your guys?
The guys are going to a competition soon. Next month.
Worlds or what are they doing?
It's a Jiu-Jitsu World League. I've been taking a lot of the guys to that, and my guys have been all doing really well. I'm very proud of them. Bunch of hardworking, good training partners, and a lot of tough people in the gym. And you know, my black belts. And shout out to Smoothie and the other, you know, Rodney and the guys in there that are, you know,
Rodney.
Higher belt said, you know, helping me with the guys. And man, we've been doing nothing but, you know, just like Coach Frankie, man, champions. Winning. We're winning. We're doing well. We put our love and our heart and soul into these, you know, men and women and, you know, young kids, and we've been seeing good results, you know. So yeah, I got a lot of people going to this one, and you know, soon I'm hoping to start getting MMA going again and start getting, because I know some of my guys want to do MMA as well, and we got all the avenues to take them there. So we started getting them already and start doing that type of stuff, you know.
Sick.
Yeah, bro. Things are going well, man. Yeah. Can't complain, bro.
Can't wait till the move, dude.
Yeah.
Let's see, we just keep growing.
Yeah, man.
Well, you know, thanks for coming on, Legacy, dude. Honestly, like, I think one of the things that highlights a good coach is just someone that actually like takes the time to learn their students, like be in their life, you know, not only just teach them the technique and fighting, you know, but actually like teach them how to be like a good person, bro, how to just like approach life, you know, in a more positive way, you know. And I see that in you, dude, just like I see it in Frankie, which is like, I think one of the reasons why me and you got so close so quickly, you know.
Absolutely.
I just vibe with that type of shit, you know.
Absolutely, brother. I appreciate that, you know, and that's the way it should be, you know, in my opinion, because that's what I had in a coach.
Yeah.
And you know, and I'm glad that you have that same relationship with your coach. And, you know, I would love to, you know, get back on the mat and train you some more together.
I know. I've been wanting to go back, dude.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. But that's what it's all about, bro. You
gotta
know,
make the time for it, though. You're right. It's just an excuse, dude.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, you know, being a good human being, being better every day, you know, being there for people. You know, you got one life, and if there's one thing that you can do is help people, and that's what I've been blessed to be able to do. So thank you. That means a lot to me, and that's what the rest of my life. I always tell people, like, when I die, I want to be buried in a gi.
Oh, yeah. With that life, dude. Fuck the suit.
I want to be buried in a gi because that's what my life, the rest of my life. I tell people I've been doing it for a long time now, and I will do it for the rest of my life. And I will be of service to anyone I can and be there for anyone I can to help them be a better person, bro. And that's what it's all about, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And make sure you let everybody know, I want to support Mo. I want to support the California Sober Podcast. So I'm going to be trying to promote you guys a little bit on my social media and my YouTube.
Give us your channel's name or your podcast.
Yeah. So if you guys want to check me out, the YouTube channel is called Persian Legacy TV. It's pretty simple. There's a gorilla logo. You pull that up. There's, you know, tons of technique on the shorts. And then we got the podcast on there, which is called The Convo. Got a bunch of episodes out, a bunch more coming. You know, we got MMA fighters. We got all kinds of different walks of life on there. And, yeah, man, then Persian Legacy on, you know, musical platforms. And, you know, my Instagram is Legacy Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, which is JIUAND MMA. And so, yeah, Legacy Jiu-Jitsu and MMA on Instagram. And the YouTube is Persian Legacy TV. Check us out, man. And you know, a pleasure to be here, Mo. Thank you for inviting me, bro. I love seeing you do this, man. You're getting better and better, and it's an honor to be here. And if you ever need me, bro, all you gotta do is holler at me. I'm here for you.
Thanks, Coach.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. 100%.
Goodbye,
Peace,
everyone.
y'all.